The president is set to meet with the Russian leader this week in Alaska. And at this point, we'll be meeting one-on-one without Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. For more on this, I'm joined by CBS News foreign correspondent Ramy Inocencio, who's joining me from our London newsroom. Ramy, so how are America's European and NATO partners reacting to the prospects of this face-to-face meeting with President Trump and the Russian leader Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, good to see you. On one hand, they are hopeful that something can be a kind of breakthrough after meeting for the first time since Trump returned to the White House. But there is also, of course, a lot of caution, and they're trying to guide the outcome of Friday's expected meeting between the two. Right now, we know that EU foreign ministers, they're convening their own emergency meeting right now after leaders across Europe from Germany, France, Poland, here in the UK, the EU president, re-stressing their support for Ukraine. The Ukraine really needs to be included in those talks and for the country's territorial integrity. Ultimately, that any land taken by Russia over the past, nearly 3 years or so, about 20% of the country right now, they're shaded in yellow on your screen, should not be ceded to Russia, which we know now from earlier last week, which is what President Trump suggested, and of course, which has caused a lot of concern pretty much around the world. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte weighed in on this on Sunday. And my takeaway of this, Vlad, is that he appeared to strike a kind of gray area. On one hand, perhaps trying to go against Trump because we know how that could work out. But on the other, to support Europe's leaders. Here he's on Face the Nation.
When it comes to this holding of Ukrainian territory, that there might be a factual situation that they are doing this, but that we can never accept that in a legal sense, as this is called a de jure sense. As you know, the US hosted embassies of Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia between 1940 and 1991, acknowledging that the Soviet Union was controlling those territories, but never accepting in a legal sense, in a de jure sense, that fact.
Right, so he's talking a little legalese there, but he's basically pointing to historic precedents. But I'm taking away here that he left the door open. He said it's up to Ukraine to decide whether to give up some land. But over the weekend, we know Zelenskyy stressed again that Ukraine, in his words, will not gift territory to Putin.
And so why is Volodymyr Zelenskyy not involved in this at all, Ramy? Because, the fear certainly from the Ukrainian perspective is that the Russian leader Vladimir Putin will blame Ukraine for the inability to come to some kind of a peace deal, when in fact, let's just remind everybody that it was Russia who invaded its neighbor.
Right. Well, first off, according to everyone official coming out from Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyy does want to be at that table in Alaska when Trump and Putin meet later this Friday. There is hope, though, that this might be some kind of concrete step towards peace. But we're also looking at this against the fact that Russia continues to keep pounding Ukraine. We've gotten most recent images out of Zaporizhia. That's in the southeast, injuring at least a dozen people. But on the same day, we heard that Ukraine's ambassador was saying that all that Ukraine prays for is for President Trump to be effective, to have, what she said, great results. So they do want to be there. Zelenskyy does want to be there. He apparently is just waiting for some kind of green light. One of the factors, of course, is Putin. If Zelenskyy does appear, does then Putin say, you know what, I'm not going to be going there? Or will he actually accept this kind of trilateral summit? The ambassador to the United States from Ukraine also thanked the American people for their support, and that if Putin isn't stopped now, she said, he might just keep going. But we look ahead to the next, 4 days. A lot can happen. But the ambassador said that Zelenskyy is ready to be anywhere, and we're looking ahead to Alaska.
All right, Ramy Inocencio reporting for us from the UK. Ramy, thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate it.